welcome to the Magic of Joy channel. Today, I want to talk more about three pillars of a joy-based life that I have discovered, and I call them the three C's. They're a very important foundation for living from joy. I'm going to start with some perspective on the shift we're in, how and why we're leaving the top-down power over model that's been with us for thousands of years, and why the three C's help us shift to a more thriving way of living, something we need desperately. The theme and story of human life have been survival, of course. In truth, it will always matter, survival, but not always in the same way. And what I mean by that is that the issues that affect our survival are not the same now as they were in earlier human societies. For example, early humans who were hunter-gatherers didn't worry about climate issues the way we do. They worried more about having enough to eat in a safe place from human predators. It makes sense. So the issues affecting survival change as we grow and develop as a species. Now, over time, we've built various cultural systems, and they have had the survival and scarcity mindset built into how they made decisions that structured human life. And that makes sense because survival was their primary issue and what they needed to be dealing with. One pronounced feature of these various cultures, which have been with us for thousands of years, is the power over model. And what that means is that some people are in positions of power and they decide for everyone else. I think these arrangements probably made more sense before the internet and the explosion of knowledge and information we have today. Back in the day, they did not have easy ways to share information, no email, and knowledge was limited. So it made sense that those in positions of power that had authority would bring information together and hold it closely in order to make decisions. That was the arrangement that made sense then, but that doesn't make sense anymore. We are in the process of shifting from top-down power to collaborative power so that we can improve quality of life, health, and well-being. And one of the big reasons for that is the world we have created is so complex that no one individual or small group of people can really know or control everything. It isn't working when we assign that much power to a small group of people. Now, this doesn't mean that we won't have government or larger institutions. We will. No one's going to be building their own cars, I don't think. Well, maybe some people will, but I don't think so. However, the power over model is not nimble or flexible enough for our needs today. And it also, historically, has no real accountability to the people. It made the decisions and everybody else went along. And I think that must change because it isn't working anymore. We humans have developed ourselves to the point that the power over model is no longer viable. The wastefulness in modern culture has to be challenged, whether it's about sacrificing the health of people through pollution and poor quality food, or allowing intolerable amounts of violence in order to maintain the status quo. We have a long history of being cavalier with the lives of all sorts of people, animals, and natural resources. And all of that has to come to an end. It's just not working anymore. So anyway, that's where we've been. It's been a long story over many thousands of years about survival. And we've now built up enough infrastructure and we've developed enough knowledge that we can shift into a new way. But if we're going to do this successfully, we need to know that we can make changes that feel good for us and are also helping us with this big shift that we're in. So how can we begin to experiment, make changes that feel good and that are good for us and others, and really make a difference in making the world a better place? What I would encourage you to consider are the three C's, and we'll talk about those now. The three C's are three pillars to build on. They provide you with a foundation so you can more easily create a life based on joy. So the first one is constructive. The second is the quality of cherishing. And the third is serving the common good. It's important to understand that all of these three foundational building blocks, they're non-adversarial, they're very low in conflict, and they put well-being, health, and the good in people and nature ahead of the agendas of the high conflict warrior world. They challenge the idea that life has to be a war. So let's get into them a little bit. So the first one is being constructive. If we're going to make a big change and a big shift, we need to make sure that we're not just making life worse for ourselves and others. We have enough fighting and trauma. We don't need to add to it. Being constructive in our choices helps us focus on what would be helpful at any given point in time. It takes you out of pleasing, which is a relief, and it also takes you out of propping up that which no longer serves us. So it's a useful intention, which can alleviate anxiety while you're making changes. It can help you manage risk while you're taking baby steps in new directions. This first of the 3 C's also helps you move out of guilt. You can make mistakes, but your intention is constructive, so that any regrets will be fleeting, and any damage that you create shouldn't be that difficult to remedy. So that's the first one, being constructive. The second is cherishing. It is a wonderful word, cherishing. It feels robust and whole. It can be considered like caring, but I think it takes it a whole lot further. It has a deeper soul-based energy to it. Caring can become more like a task, but cherishing comes from your heart and soul. Cherishing is what you do when you recognize that we're all alike and that we are here trying to have a life in a challenging world, and we all deserve the best we can do. It is when we acknowledge that the lives of each living creature, human and other than human, have a place on this earth and deserve to have that place respected, that we are in the spirit of cherishing. The deep respect and kindness in cherishing make it such an important quality. We each deserve it ourselves, although I suspect that many of us don't know what it really feels like. Cherishing is a quality that values the aliveness in the world and wants to protect it. So it's very ecological, and it's a wise perspective about how to live. There's a very live and let live quality to it, which is important also. And it offers us a lot of guidance in how to make good choices when we act from that particular spirit. So that's the second, cherishing. And the third is serving the common good. When we serve the common good, a lot of conflicts go away. There is no conflict between self-care and the common good, because when you're in good shape and feeling good, then the world benefits. The idea that the self and others are at odds, or that your self-care takes away from others, becomes moot, because you can see the relationship between the good in you and the common good. Many people think the individual and the community, or the general good, is in constant conflict. Well, when each person is out for themselves, we can think that when others receive, we lose, or vice versa. And I suppose that makes sense from one perspective. But when the health of the common good is everyone's agenda, those conflicts disappear. Each of these 3 pillars contributes to a strong foundation for creating a life based on joy instead of fear. All of them bring goodwill to the table. All of them have a respect for one's life and life on the planet. All of them value the spirit of friendship in intentions, perspective, and contribution. When you know you are well aligned with the good in yourself, others, and the common good, it's easier to relax about yourself, others, and life, even when life is especially challenging, as it is right now. We need to reduce fear as much as we can, as quickly as we can. The 3 C's help you to do that, and I hope you will consider making them a part of your life. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed learning more about the 3 C's and how they can help you transform your life into one that's more joyful. And if you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and loved ones and anyone else that could benefit. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on the transformative power of joy. I will be back soon to give you more information about how joy as a practice and compass can transform your life. Until then, stay well and joyful. Thank you for listening.